Hey, welcome to another episode of Easy Sport, and I'm joined by Sihle. What's happening, my G?
I'm always good, my guy. Your side?
No, easy. Of course, we had a very long weekend that just flew by so fast. Now it's back to reality tomorrow. I'm not sure if when you took leave.
I didn't. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think the long weekends are just a mystery because like one
yeah,
moment it's one moment it's hey I've got a long weekend ahead. Next moment it's done.
that's
And
done,
yeah, here we
exactly.
are looking forward to tomorrow. Back to reality, as you say. What kind
Yeah.
regards?
Yeah, what kind regards? Listen to you. Yeah. Just to start off the show, I want to start off on a positive note with your team. Congratulations on reaching the FA Cup final. Well
Thank you, thank
deserved,
you, thank you.
as expected, in my opinion. I knew that you were one of the teams that will secure the final. It was just the Man City and Liverpool game that I wasn't sure of. But yeah, I saw it was Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well as Mason Mount who scored the goals.
Um, I think if you saw the first half, you wouldn't have been that confident. I think
Yeah,
if we're honest, we have to give credit to Patrick Vieira and the work that he's doing at Palace.
yeah,
Over the past couple of years, to be honest, Palace haven't been playing attractive football.
yeah. Skop and Donner.
Um, Yeah. And
Yeah,
Ibiba Spanel is Copindona up to a certain extent, and I think there's a directional change within the club itself, of which, to be honest, what they did to Arsenal, um, I wasn't surprised. If you recall the game that they played against Arsenal, the first game that they played against, I
yeah.
think it was a postponed game that they played against Arsenal. It was a very close match. It was won in the last like couple of seconds. But yeah, Patrick Vieira is doing some good things. I'm looking forward to what he can do with the boys, having spent so much time with them this season, next season. I was confident because I think the Champions League game had me really fired up.
Yeah,
We got kicked out of Champions League, and I know it's history now,
yeah.
but we put up a good fight.
You
We really
did.
put up a good fight.
Yeah.
And the game against Palace, I just thought we might be tired, having given it our all. I mean, going
Yeah.
the whole 9 yards with Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, like literally 90 minutes and then extra time. But yeah, it was a good watch. Second half, I think second half, the five substitution rule worked to our
Yeah.
advantage. The depth that we have in the squad, it came through.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's true. One thing I even told Mike about this, especially I'm gonna go back to the Champions League loss to Chelsea. I just told him that one thing you can never say is doubt Tuchel's tactics because against Madrid, you guys were very unlucky to not make it through. You guys played a very solid game. It's just
True.
two areas that cost you. But as far as what I saw in that game, I was like, you know what, Chelsea know how to ball, and you guys are
I think
solid.
I think
Yeah,
also there's certain instances when you get knocked out. I think once
hmm,
you reach that level of Champions League,
yeah,
it's like the small things that count against you and that have you knocked out.
yeah,
But honestly, I was mighty proud of the boys. I wouldn't questions like what happened, how it could have happened, what we should have done, because literally they gave their all. I think there's this one picture that was taken end of the match where I think it was two players, a Chelsea and a Madrid player that
yeah,
had collapsed, like literally were lying down, and the Champions League sign is at the back, and that just epitomized the game where it's like
yeah,
they both teams have given their all, and
yeah.
yeah, I think we were unlucky. It was human
Mhm.
error that cost us. But hey, look at what's this? Look at Man City over the weekend. Human error cost them a spot in the final.
Yeah, no, that's true, man. And like, I mean, moving on to that game, I won't lie to you. It was at the same time as Man United. So what happened is that I first watched the first half of the United game before switching over. So I didn't get to see the goals like um from watching the first half. I only just switched the channel and I was like, wow, 3-0. Damn. And after that, of
Nah, I
course, they
think
played replays. And then, yeah, I saw the goalkeeper made, that era.
yeah,
But
that was a blunder.
I,
And the weird thing is that no, it's not a weird thing. The
yeah.
Pep thing to do was to go right in and protect his keeper, where he said, that's how we play. We ask our keepers to distribute the ball. But I
Yeah.
think he's noted that they don't have a good enough second backup keeper. And
Hmm.
watch what happens next season. They are going to be looking to bolster that position because it's a concern. If they're going to be going for 4 trophies, they
Yeah.
best have a very good, solid keeper who's like their number one. But also
Hmm.
the backup players must really be decent players.
No, definitely they have to. Like, that game was a game of two halves, of course, because second half, even City at the end, they almost equalized.
Yeah.
Almost, right?
But
Yeah,
I
bro.
think that the injuries caught up with Pep's side, and
Yeah.
he's not happy with that. He can't. He would have loved to make the final.
Yeah.
Um, and I think the amount of injuries he picked up in the last couple of games, against, yeah, it became a bit too much. But still, for a club of his caliber and for the millions that he has at his disposal, he will be disappointed in that depth wise, it wasn't as deep as everybody thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. I know that's true. And for me, I just feel like you also have to give credit to Klopp, for
Nah, I mean,
all,
let's be honest. Let's be honest. Liverpool. Liverpool is playing some freaking
dude,
beautiful football.
dude.
They're very effective and efficient. I mean, if you look at their front five players, um, it's what it's Mane, it's Salah, it's
Jota,
what's his name? Almost a
Jota,
Jericho. Jota.
Jota,
It's who's that
Luis
new boy that
Diaz,
just came in?
Luis
Diaz.
Diaz,
They also have that old guy who literally pops up
Firmino.
every now and again. That Brazilian,
Yeah,
he pops up every now and again and he performs.
he performs.
So
Yeah,
yeah, like out of the five players that I've mentioned, four of those players are freaking brilliant, and they perform week in week out. So
yeah,
squad depth, Klopp, he has it in abundance. I'm not sure about his
really.
midfield,
Mm.
but I think they aim half of the time is to outscore the opponents,
Yeah,
and it
exactly.
works for them, man. It
Yeah,
honestly, the more goals, oh, sorry, the more goals you concede, and sorry, the more goals you score and you don't concede, the more likely
yeah.
you're going to win the match.
Yeah, no, Liverpool are very direct in how they do things. It's few passes. It's like Andy Robertson crossing, someone is at the box. It's very they're very quick and direct. And I feel like, from a recruitment standpoint, Klopp
Yeah.
has
Oh, they get that right.
always,
Yeah,
yeah.
one of their recruitment, they get it right, my
I
guy.
mean, look at like Timikas. Timikas is what I can second choice left back. But whenever Robertson is injured, it's as if this guy he fits into the team.
Yeah.
And I mean, even with Jota, bro, like like who Klopp
Now,
he looks.
Jota and the Garden, I do not know how the top five teams, because Ujota, had he gone to Arsenal, I wouldn't have like, I would have said, oh, okay, cool. He's going to be a good player. But when he went to Liverpool, I was very much surprised. But like the way that the guys performed, up his game, and he's upped his game to a level that I feel we all slept on, and Liverpool were the only team that were very wary of this guy's got potential because he was for the Wolves. He was a decent player, and
Yeah.
Wolves do have a decent squad, but I didn't see him performing at the level that he is performing right now.
No, that's true. That's true. I feel like Klopp just saw potential and was like, okay, this guy suits my philosophy to the T because ever since he arrived at Liverpool, he hit the ground running. I mean, with Jota. Jota
But I
started
think
scoring
X also you
from
have
the
to think about it.
get-go. Mm,
Potential. We can all speak on potential. Sancho's got
yeah.
potential, but he hasn't
Mhm.
really lived up to that potential. There's a lot of players. I'll use one of our own player. Timo. Timo. Honestly, the potential is there, and the price tag matched the potential. But has he lived up to the price tag and the potential that we all see in him? He hasn't. So it's very easy to say the potential is there, and but unleashing that potential, it's a different ball game. It's a
Yeah.
different conversation.
It is, it is. Hence, I say that he was like, this guy actually suits the way I want to play. And he's also very direct and knows how to finish. I mean, Trotter has scored hat tricks for Wolves. You know, he has done that before. So I feel like Klopp and Jay, credit goes out to him and his recruiting. And I
Very
mean,
true.
it was, yeah, and it was a well deserved victory. You know, it's just going to be interesting to see whether or not your team is going to allow him to win another final again, you know. But yeah.
I think the minute a final goes to penalties, whichever team loses, it hurts, but it doesn't hurt as much as losing in the 90 minutes.
90
I don't know if that
minutes.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Because it's anyone's game, penalties. You know,
Yeah,
it's
no
it's
penalty
a
below
lot
too
of,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot. Yeah.
it's just, and I feel when we lost against them,
Mhm.
it was in penalties, and everyone was like, "Oh, we're proud," and but end of the day, in the back of Tuchel's mind, it's a lost final. So
Yeah.
him going up against Liverpool for this final, it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, no, definitely. And
Yeah,
this one
it's
is gonna be interesting. You know, it would have
and
been
and
great to.
who knew Guti,
So,
one of these cups are going to be like fiercely contested? Because I mean, these
yeah.
cups, I think, beginning of the season, there's certain cups that every team is like, yeah, but if I win here, oh, okay, let's not say cups, like including the league. They say, "Ah, if we win here,
Mhm.
then we would have succeeded." I don't think the FA Cup is like up there. FA Cup is like one of those once you get to the semifinals, you start taking it serious, or quarterfinals, you start
Yeah.
taking it
Yeah,
serious.
that's
But
true.
if you get knocked out in the early stages of it, and you get knocked out by a team in the championship, everyone talks about it for like a couple of seconds, and then it ends there.
Well, that
So I don't think as much focus was thingy on the cup, but like now that we've lost so many things, like we're out of Champions
yeah.
League, we out of the running of the league. Yeah, so yeah, we might as well go big with the FA Cup.
Yeah, yeah, but shots fired there, and I know you were shooting at me with that comment. It's fine. It's okay, CJ. It's so Gucci, my G. You know, but yeah, man, like all the best, man. Like I said, for me, I'll just be a neutral and I'll just watch and see what
It's going to be
happens.
a crack off again.
Yeah,
It's
no.
going to be a no holds barred game. Because I
Mhm.
think it's one of the last matches, or is it the last match of the season?
Yeah, yeah. It
It's yeah,
is.
it's
It
somewhere
is.
there.
It's the last match before Champions League final is the final game for
Yeah,
the yeah, it's the last game of the season, the Champions League final. So it
and
will
that
be
I know there's going
maybe
to
a
be like a
weekend
bit of
before.
it's going to be a funny calendar thing going on with the World Cup being where it
Mhm.
is, and yeah, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
going to be an
yeah,
interesting final. I look forward to it. I honestly look
yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah. And bro, let's switch to the top four battle in the Premier League because I mean we've discussed. That's why I was like on a brighter note. Let's start with you and your team and your achievement. Now let's move on to the North London teams. Wagwan. I mean, we'll start off with
Ay,
the
ay, ay,
Tottenham.
ay.
The Tottenham. I watched the full game, bro.
They
And
were
Graham Potter.
flat.
Dude, Grandpa, like Brighton were playing, dog. Like
Yeah,
Brighton
yeah,
were organized.
yeah.
Like there's that Wepu guy who's the number. I think he's that number 8 because he's the one with energy. Hey, but
Yeah.
Besuma, Besuma is a baller.
Yes, man,
I'm a
don't you if you're honest, if you're honest,
oh yeah,
how much would Man United pay for him?
like 40, 50.
And considering the players that you have in that position,
He
wouldn't he
would
be like
start.
a definite starter?
He would definitely start, bro. Like it's no brainer. It's his position. He walks in, dog.
Yeah. Because I was
That's
watching and like I'm like thinking,
yeah,
no, man, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe he's
yeah.
injury prone. Maybe,
Nah, he's
no,
not.
but like
He's
literally, why are not these big teams? Okay, Arsenal have made their call when it comes to that
yeah,
position, and that they've invested quite a. I think they've got like 3 decent players in that position. So
yeah,
that's thingy. Spurs, there's still a question mark around that positional for them. But I'm like,
yeah.
Man United, out of all the teams that are going for Champions League positions, why not going for this boy?
Exactly. Like, I've been saying, the CDM role, the role that we really need to like that was the role that we needed to invest in. But of course we were like, you know what, let's go for OCR7, you know.
Nah,
Um
UCR7, we all know, we
yeah,
all know UCR7 was what do you do? It's like when you make a move to block someone
yeah.
who you
From
consider to be your opponent. You
yeah, yeah,
didn't
yeah.
need him, but you had the muscle to get in the way of an opponent. But I
Yeah.
think in hindsight, that is beating you in the in the ass. But in if we are honest,
Yeah.
he's saved you quite a number of times. I'm looking forward
Yes.
to your player of the season awards, as in who are
Yeah.
the who are the players that the team is going to elect, as in these are the players that for us.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
what CDM and a world class cent yeah. I think everyone who is aware of football or who understands football went and said the exact same thing. But the minute that Cristiano Ronaldo's agent went and published that Man City is interested, Man United panicked.
Yeah. Which for be
And
ish. Yeah.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
think you could have taken a bet, oh sorry, not a bet, but a gamble to go right
On
in and say it's fine. Let him go to City. We're focusing on ourselves.
Yeah, I know, no, no, that's true, that's true. But like, I mean, of course, I just wanted us to first cover the Spurs game. Yeah, that's if I'm not sure if you've watched it, but like,
Yeah, I watched
yeah,
the
yeah,
Spurs
yeah,
game, and
yeah, yeah,
Brighton
yeah,
were a
bro.
better team.
Yeah, they were better. Large parts
They
of the
figured out
game.
how to eliminate the threat that is caused by Spurs, because I think Spurs is at the moment a 4-man team,
Yeah, it's
and
Son,
if
Kane,
and
Kulishevsky, and
yeah,
who else?
I think the fourth is who's that guy in the middle? I just forgot his name. His name is gonna come up. I'll remember his name right now.
Vincent
If you
Kerr.
mark if you mark Tottenham with those 4 players and you make sure Guti, they are properly marked, they plan B Aiko, to be
Yeah,
honest.
there isn't. There isn't. And as
Yeah.
well, one thing I also noticed with Conte's tactic, he likes playing a lot on the break. And cause Brighton are organized team and they're very good on possession. And they've got players like Abo Lamptey who have great recovery pace. It didn't work in their favor. Even Son had a flat game to a point where they even substituted him and
And I
replaced him
never
with
saw that one coming.
Bergwijn. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because he was having a bad game, Vitu. Like he was having a bad game, and that's credit to Graham Potter on how he set up his team. It's a pity
Do you
that
remember
Brighton don't have solid finishes in their team. Yeah,
we had the conversation of Potter coming to put your team and you thought it was a joke?
I do recall, but Minnesota, I just didn't think that uh, like I'm not sure if he can handle egos, or Graham Potter. I mean, the players that he has, I mean, they
But
are players that,
I think we've spoken
yeah,
about this. What has been the downfall
mm,
of Man United, and it's
yeah,
been the
yeah, yeah,
egos.
yeah, of
Um,
course, yeah,
when egos collide, I think you need a manager who is a frank manager.
mm-hmm.
And I do respect, and it hurts me to say this, I do respect Arteta for being frank with two players, Ozil and Aubameyang.
Obama, yeah, yeah,
But
okay.
in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, he maybe shouldn't have.
Because let's
But
let's
anyway,
move on. Yeah, let's move on to Southampton and Arsenal.
no. Arsenal. A friend of mine asked me what's going on with Arsenal. I said it's simple. It's everyone can see they
See,
lack. Hmm?
these guys played all the games in hand. They had three, and they lost all three, and not against formidable opponents. Mfethu.
They had the running that was considered to be an easy running.
Exactly. You know, they say
Arteta is a
Arteta is a
plumber coach.
plumber. Yeah, not a
Yeah.
coach.
I think Arsenal, the problem at Arsenal right now
Yeah.
is lack of leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like there isn't a player that goes right and says, I am going to be I might not be the captain, but I'm gonna step up. Ooh, White tries, but
Mm-hmm.
he also fizzles out. And then with these kids, they just need a player that they can look up to. And I don't know if you saw the interview that came out today, where the star striker has went right ahead and said he's open for a move anyway, and that's their
Yeah.
striker.
Yeah, I
Like,
did see.
how does a top team allow that to happen?
Wow, like as in dog, I hope it's a lie. But of course it's Fabrizio Romano who,
No,
posted
I
that.
don't think
And
it's a lie. I don't
yeah,
think it's a lie. It's literally it pains me because I wanted the Aubameyang and Arteta conversation. It's a weird one in
yeah,
that all the managers that had coached Aubameyang before understood the character that they were dealing with, and not to
yeah,
sort of run around him and whatnot, but they knew how to handle him. And with
yeah,
Arteta, he doesn't have. Yep, that's the one.
yeah,
He says, I'm in discussion with a lot of clubs, and this is your number one striker, by the way, because I don't
yeah.
think Arsenal have a striker that I'd consider to be a number one or a better
Nketiah.
striker than he is.
There's
No,
Nketiah.
no, get the fuck out of here. It's like
But
I'm in
anyway,
discussion with a lot of clubs. I'm open. Like that in itself speaks volumes. I want
yeah,
to play European football. I never with Leon since I left. This left me very much confused.
yeah. Like this one
Like
as well,
I
man.
was
Like,
I was very much confused. I was like, are you giving up on Arsenal making
yeah.
European football? Because
Mm-hmm.
I thought your team was fighting for Champions League, but you are
Yeah.
then saying, "Well, I'm open." Like it left me very much confused.
Yeah, no, that's
I
true.
honestly didn't
Especially,
I didn't know what to make of this.
yeah,
Whether it requires the manager to do something about it, but what can the manager do because he's out of contract and he's gonna walk?
yeah, yeah, it's gonna work for free. And I mean, Wenger did speak up on this, Ngoguti. You know what? This is what's gonna happen in the future where players start leaving for free and going to teams, and of course, just negotiating a higher wage. But yeah, man, it's wild for
But I
me.
think I
Yeah,
don't blame players.
yeah,
The teams also are tying these players to like long-term contracts.
mm-hmm.
So it's one of those. It's a gamble, my guy. It's a huge gamble for
Yeah,
both. If they tie you in for like a 5-year contract and you outperform your contract, they have the right to go right ahead and just bind you to that contract without offering any upgrade, unless you Man United where they overpay for everything. But yeah,
Hey,
I
yeah,
don't
hey,
honestly blame these players for doing what they're doing. It's
yeah,
bad for football, but hey, it is what it is, man. The
yeah. No,
people that I feel that I have too much power and they shouldn't because they're not bringing anything to the sport are the agents.
yeah, no, no, that's true. That's true. It is crazy how the agents negotiate these deals for their players nowadays, and it's
Yeah, because
true. I do agree when I say like I also don't blame the players. You know, I'd most probably do the same if I had the talent. I mean, be like Wijnaldum. I mean, PSG offered him 300,000 a week, and so he left. But ish, of course, he's not like happy with his current situation, and to the point where even for the Netherlands, Wijnaldum is not getting selected, and this guy used to be the vice captain for the Netherlands. So it's
the
just
other
ish.
the other thing
Yeah,
the other thing is that look at the Haaland situation where
yeah,
Madrid have literally I think in the past couple of hours they've issued a statement where they said they're pulling out of the Haaland race because I think the wage structure and the agent fees are going to really upset the other players, of
yeah,
which it's understandable. It's really going to upset the senior players. But now you've
yeah,
got a top performer who is like he's earning what? Let's say I'm just making an example. He's earning like 250 a week, which to be honest, that's a decent total. And then this kid comes in who I think sure fine, the club is saying that the kid is their future, and they give
yeah.
this kid a 700,000 per week contract. That's like
And this is a
I
kid,
understand.
dog.
I understand
Yeah,
if the kid goes right ahead and he's earning the same, like we can then say as the old player, it's one of two things. Either you talk to the club that, hey guys, how do you value me? But like 700, that's a different conversation altogether.
I know it's steep. It's really steep, Mfethu. And you are right. It will upset the structure, the wage structure. That's why it's gonna be interesting to see where he lands up, Haaland, because not a lot of
He's
teams will be willing to pay the wages that
City,
he's demanding. Do you think City would
City.
agree to give him
I,
that money?
yeah, I think
Yes.
City over the weekend,
Yeah.
depth wise, it was highlighted that they also need a striker. They need a finisher.
Yeah.
They've got a
They
they've
do.
got a they've got brilliant midfielders, but they need
Yeah.
that one piece that's missing, which is a very a world class striker.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
Haaland as
but
well.
like back to
Yeah.
Arsenal, and I know a lot of people that support Arsenal are gonna hate me. I don't think Arsenal is ready for Champions League.
Yeah. That's true. I also agree. You know, they're not gonna compete. If even if they qualify, they're not gonna be competitive in any way. You know, they'll just
It's like it's one
be
of those way. It's like they get excited which they're gonna make Champions League, but I don't see them passing the
yeah,
group stages.
you see. And for me, that doesn't make sense personally. Like, like
But I think there's
qualified.
money. There's money if you make Champions League, my guy.
Yeah, there is. There's performance bonuses. Okay, from that standpoint, yeah, but I'm talking from a football. Now we're moving away from a footballing discussion. I'm just talking about from a footballing standpoint. Yes, from a commercial standpoint, yeah, it makes sense. The club will make a lot of money.
And a
They
lot of
could
people are gonna hate me for that, but I don't think Arsenal. And I think if they make Champions League, it's gonna be to their detriment because they've got a good project that they're building, and I think
yeah,
Champions League is gonna be a distraction. It's a
yeah.
distraction that they can't afford.
Because my thing is that they don't even have Champions League. They have no right to okay, fair from a squad standpoint, I don't think their squad is that great, but at least they only are focusing on the domestic trophies. That's all. They don't have to be traveling all over Europe. Their sole purpose is to ensure that they perform in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, as well as the Premier League. Whereas with
I think
United,
it's like
we have
I'll,
Champions
I'll keep
League.
on I'll keep on saying this.
Yeah.
Ukuthi when a squad get everyone like thinks ukuthi, if you've got a solid squad, you should be good. And that like what you when the chips are down and you're playing
Mhm.
in Moscow, and it's raining, you look at your bench, agna next. and you
Mm.
know it's the following weekend. Oh, sorry, not the following. So you're playing Wednesday. You know it's on Saturday or on Sunday. You're going to be playing against a rival like Spurs, who those two are direct rivals of each other. You're going to be playing against West Ham. So it's one of those where squad depth plays a huge part once you start traveling in Europe, and I don't think Arsenal is ready. If they do make Champions League, they are gonna suffer. I think
Yeah.
they should sit this one out. And it pains me to say because like it's young kids. I wonder that boy Saka. I
Mhm.
value that boy. That boy is I was watching
Hey.
an interview that he was doing. He's down to earth. He's like yeah, he's destined for greatness. So I'd love for him to get experience Champions League, but I don't think this team that he's playing for squad wise is ready for Champions League.
Yeah, yeah, I know. True. And as well, man, like look at what's happening with them and Tottenham. You know, they are fumbling the bag. Actually, even with Manchester United as well. All three of us are fumbling the bag
Nah,
at a very
we'll get to
crucial.
United.
Yeah,
Well,
you know.
actually, let's do this.
Yeah.
Spurs.
Hmm.
It's a project. It's
Yeah.
work in progress, and the work in progress corner it's of a manager who took over when just now.
Yeah.
And then Arsenal is a work in progress with a manager who is not a world class manager, but
Yeah.
because he's been affiliated with world class managers, he seems to think highly of himself,
Hmm.
which that in itself is it's just his ego. I don't rate him. I'm sorry, I don't rate him.
Yeah.
And then you get the Man United situation, and I call it a situation because it puzzles me. Like
Hmm.
I've tried to have an understanding, or I've listened to your veterans trying to explain the
Yes.
situation, the reason why you got an interim manager and that is going up. And I still ask, it's like, okay, cool. If he sets this team and he recruits, is he recruiting to his style of play, or is he recruiting to the style of play to the next coming manager? And yet still you are doing interviews for managers. Who is the next manager? But I think now you've got a new manager, and I'm sure he's got his players, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's got a respect for the current manager who's going to be going up to head the team. He's going to
Yeah.
speak to them, but I'm pretty sure he's his own man. He's got his own ideas of how
True.
football should be played, and I think
Yeah.
that's the one thing that's been holding this deal up because
Yeah.
normally when Man United want something, they've got the financial backing to get whatever it is that they want. If
Yeah.
they wanted this manager to come on board, it wasn't a financial thing. It was more control. And I
Yeah.
think as a manager who is going to that shit show that is Man United right now, he's gonna want control.
Yeah,
And
definitely. I feel like that's what was delaying everything, you know. He wanted to ensure that the board does not interfere with the recruitment side of things because he's like at Ajax, the only thing I focus on mostly is the training. When it comes to recruitment, it was Mark Overmars, Edwin van der Sar. They used to be the guys that, yes, after games, okay, we've identified this player. Do you think this player suits the way we play? And then from
he then
there,
makes a decision.
then yeah, like they all three of them, of course, he was involved in that because they didn't want to just bring in players that the coach doesn't want. You know, they wanted the coach to, of course, identify and then be like, okay, this guy suits the philosophy, and this guy can, of course, we can approach him and try signing him. And that's how I feel like we're gonna start moving. You know, hopefully we also get Paul Mitchell. I've been hearing through the grapevine
You
that
need
Paul
him.
Mitchell is also a target. He worked with Reinik for Leipzig. And yeah, I mean, Leipzig, from a recruitment standpoint, they are 10 years ahead of Man United. They're constantly finding new talent, you know. And so for me,
So
I just hope for that. Mm-hmm.
So X, I was talking to Ivan, who posted
Yeah,
a
yeah,
couple of comments, and
yeah.
he's a huge Man United fan, and I asked him a question when he's excited about the new manager coming on, and I told him, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, guy, the problem with Man United is not a managerial problem.
It's
It's
not.
it's it's a problem in two folds. The one is the board. The board
Mm-hmm.
have got no idea what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
The second part is the egos that exist in the change rooms, and the
Mm-hmm.
egos are taking over from the fact that the board doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Because
Yeah, no,
you can't elect a
exactly.
manager who's going to be there, who's on a temporary basis for 5 6 months. The players are sitting there, they're like, no, man, they don't have to show up for this guy because they know in 4 5 months he's gone and they've got a new
Mm-hmm.
manager. And the
But the thing
minute that
is that
Man United players were knocked out of every competition that they were competing for, literally they tapped out. They were ready for mai tais by the beach and
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel the board allowed these players to get away with murder when they went right ahead and fired Ole. At the time that
Mm-hmm.
they fired Ole, because I think they should have fired Ole a week or 2 weeks prior to that and got a
And
manager
then
like
get
Conte, who was gonna
Conte.
fight tooth and nail to go right ahead and because I think with him it was more of his reputation than anything else.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
And
as well,
Conte, the one thing that we are all in agreement, not that he throws his toys out of the cot, he's a winner. And if he
mm-hmm.
feels the board is not supporting the vision that the board set out, he walks away.
And like I always tell people, I was speaking to another Chelsea fan. At the end of the day, you guys sacked Conte, and he in that season you sacked him. He won you guys the FA Cup. Just shows you the standard that this guy is a person who's proven in Italy as well as in England that I can win in top leagues. And yeah, man, with United, dude, for me, I just have a feeling that we are moving in a better direction, and I just hope that
I
it
think
works
I
out.
think the
Yeah, sorry. And I was telling
I'm
people that, yeah.
I'm not hopeful for you to succeed, but it
Mm-hmm.
pains to see an institution like Man United being dragged through what they are going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they've asked for it. You got too confident, and
Mm-hmm.
other teams focused on themselves, and then they
Mm.
grew to be
And
bigger
they
than.
got better.
Thank you.
And they got better. And not only just the top six, but in the entire league. I mean, even against Norwich, man, we won 3-2, but that was such a terrible way of
It,
winning
it
against
was
a
it was
team
the
like
Ronaldo
Norwich.
show,
And as well, we're saved by De Gea as well, bro. Like this guy was making saves, he was
which
making
is
world
why
class
which is why
saves. Yeah.
if you recall, I said I'm very much intrigued to see the Man United players play of the season.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It is.
because
Because for me,
because David has stepped up, and
look, David has so many. Do you know that he's got like three or
and then
four?
and then Cristiano also has stepped out, but I can't think
Mhm,
of any outfield player whom I can
mhm.
say, yeah, they deserve to be like the player of the season.
It's CR, dog. Like hey, this guy he carried us again. Just like how he did against Tottenham. It was his
Hey,
goals and how he took the goals as well, man.
I wonder I
First
wonder if
one,
he's I wonder if
yeah,
his back hurts from carrying this team.
dude. I don't think it does because did you see his header, bro? Like he leaped there, bro. Like even at his
And then
age, dog.
Maguire stepped up. The third goal, the free kick. Maguire
Yeah.
was in front and he ducked the ball so the ball can
Hey.
pass and it was a goal. So you have to give him credit. But
And
if
he
we are
also
honest,
kicked Pog. He also kicked Pogba, bro.
yeah,
Like,
to be honest, yo, Maguire is
ish. No, dog. Like for me,
I
man, ish, ish, ish,
Maguire is a
ish.
failed pop. Not
Ah, but like, hey, Nana to like, hey. Thing is that I always do my best to be respectful when I criticize a player. I'm not gonna use any harsh words. I'll just say that he's just not good enough. I'll use the word not good enough.
what's the least harsh word you could use to describe his performance in the last 5 6 games?
He's not good enough. That's all. I'm not gonna say, hey, I'm not gonna, hey man,
Okay,
I,
I hear
yeah,
you. That's a very
yeah.
political statement. He's not good enough. And
It's
what
just not
club
good
is he
enough.
good enough for?
Hmm.
Are we speaking West Ham? Are we
Even,
speaking
yeah.
Leicester? Are we speaking Leeds? Are
Mm.
we
You see,
speaking Everton?
you see
Are we
me.
speaking Norwich?
You see my G. Me now. I want Yuri Tillemans. Nah. I'd do a swap deal where we'll give him Maguire and a bit of money for Tillemans. That's what I'd do.
Yeah,
Because
pasa
Pogba's
Leandro, eh?
leaving. Because Pogba's leaving,
Eh,
guaranteed.
but yeah, pasa Leandro. Tillemans, fuck,
Yeah,
yo.
well, you see what I'm saying? So for me, I think that would work best if you go like, okay, guys, here's Harry Maguire,
I
give us
wonder how much.
Tillemans,
I wonder how much
and
they pricing. I wonder how much they pricing Tillemans.
it's like it's
'Cause,
less than 40 million, bruh. It's low, bruh. It's not a
eh,
lot of
but
money.
it's Leicester don't negotiate with terrorists.
Nah, no, no, no. The
They
thing
don't
is
negotiate.
the thing is that his contract is running out, bruh. Like umuntu makaselenga 1 year, you don't force a 90 million pound move, or else he's gonna stay and leave for free, and then you guys don't. But the model is always about selling and getting money. It's not about leaving for free. That's never the model in Leicester City. So they have to
Yeah, but
yield. Give us Yuri,
Leicester,
man.
when it comes to negotiating, if they give you the price, that's the price you're gonna pay.
I didn't get him. Must let him. They must let him run down his contract. Because I want Yuri. Yuri is a leader, bro. He's a leader.
True, very true.
Yeah, and I
And
like
yeah,
his personality. For the change room, he'd be dope. Plays for a very good country. On top of that, he plays
yeah,
for
and he
a
looks like a
country.
very calm character. He's not
Yeah,
an outright fighter. He's a
mm.
very calm character. He's got that about him.
and as
And
well,
yeah, go for it.
he's also shown that he's clutch because for Leicester to win the FA Cup, it was his worldie that won the FA Cup. So he also showed that side. Yoguti, I'm also clutch in big games. You can rely on me in big games, and so that's what I like about Yuri, bro. And he's a leader. He also wears the armband for Leicester at
Yeah.
times.
No, I
Yeah,
think
so
if you're to get a player like him, time for
mm,
like a 3-year, 2-year contract,
yeah,
get the best out of him, you should be good. Because
mm,
I do think you need a cleanup.
we do. I
Um,
know. Imagine to any.
Arsenal need to calm themselves,
Yeah,
and note who they are, where they are at the moment.
yeah.
You need to realize you're not as great as you were.
So we were, yeah.
Um,
Mm.
Conte's side, ew, yeah, they need like two. They are 2, 3 players away from competing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because right now,
Spurs
to
are
be
not
honest,
far.
they are a patch job that is missing that Conte way of playing.
Hmm.
I don't think he's had enough time. Give him time with the players. Give him a Daniel Levy investment. Then you'll be talking a different conversation.
That's
And
true.
I think that's one team that a lot of people are they are waiting for Spurs to do the Spursy thing of self imploding,
Yeah,
and
no, indeed.
I
That's what's
don't see it
happening.
happening. They had a bit.
But
They had a blip in the system over the weekend.
mm,
They'll come right,
but the
and
thing is that they're still left with two big teams to play against. Their rivals, which is Arsenal, as
they're gonna
well
beat them.
as Liverpool and at Anfield. And
Depends
Liverpool.
when they play that game. Depends.
Eh, no,
If they're gonna
but
be playing
Liverpool
the
are trying to win the league, dog. So even Nami tomorrow, it's gates for me, dog. Like I've already accepted that it could be ugly. It depends on how Klopp
please
feels.
please don't tell me that you've got the tub of Vaseline.
Dude, did you see Norwich scored 2 goals against us? Just
Yo,
two. Liverpool uzokora ngaki? How many Liverpool gonna score, dog?
Bonile Maguire what's his name?
Pogba,
Pogba.
dog. And Pogba was
Bonile
so
Maguire,
upset. Yo,
Bonile Maguire.
he's
And
like,
it's
this
not the
guy.
first time.
It's
He's
like
done it
Kylie
before.
Outlander, man. It's like Kylie Outlander, man. Like, really, what's wrong with this dude? That was his look.
Imagine as a player, your captain.
Hey, good off, it's rough, my G.
I don't know if you
Like,
remember, was it Sundowns? Yeah,
mm,
it's Mambush. Mambush, what clap one of his teammates.
listen to that, bro.
I don't know if you remember I'll send you the link to that situation where
Yeah,
it was
please.
half time or it was extra time or something. But Mambush Wamba clap one of his teammates in front of everybody. But yeah, imagine being mad at your own captain. But I
Yeah,
think if we're honest, the running for top four, I'm not a betting man, but Yabona the running to top four is going to be very interesting. I was
I
looking at it, I'm like, I
yeah,
don't want to be there
it's gonna be
because it's
entertaining.
literally every weekend it changes.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does. It does. Because like now,
And,
to
and
we now 3 points from fourth now, and we are ahead of Arsenal on goal difference. It's just tomorrow. Hey man, we need a miracle because they also can't afford to drop points. That's the thing. Liverpool right now, should they drop points, that's the league for City. That's when City can extend the gap. So for me, as much as I'm trying to be
can
optimistic,
I be
but
honest?
hey,
I don't want Liverpool to win the quadruple. I know a lot of my Liverpool fans are gonna kill me.
dog.
I know Shivar is
Uh,
watching and is going to be like, I'm a hater. No, Shivar, I'm not a hater. Um,
yeah.
I know Stan is also watching. He's gonna say I'm a hater. Nah, gents, I'm not a hater. I just do not want you to win the quadruple because your heads are going to be bigger than your mouths.
It's gonna be
I don't want
interesting,
that.
bruh. Yeah, yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
honestly, let's split this out. Let's give Man City the league, but don't give Man City the Champions League. You know why? Hey, because about two,
Yo,
we've got the Champions League. I don't want them
two's
to win
gonna
it now.
cry. Two's gonna be in tears, man. Like you
So
won't
let's split
believe
let's
it.
split this out. Let's split this out
Yeah,
and say Man City, they've got the league.
yeah.
Champions League. Hey, Champions League. I don't want to give it
Real
to Liverpool. It's too
Madrid.
soon.
Real
I don't want to give it to
Madrid.
Madrid also because it gives them
Villarreal,
the
dog.
financial power. Villarreal,
Villarreal.
yes.
Yo,
Yes.
yo. Imagine Ranieri wins the Champions League, dog. Yeah, for Arsenal fans, guys,
Imagine Emre
it's
winning
gonna hurt.
Champions League after being fired from Arsenal.
Dude, dude, he's gonna say, I won two trophies that Arsenal has never ever won in their history. They've never
Thank
won
you.
any
Honestly,
European
Yabona,
trophies.
Champions League. I don't want Man City. I don't want Pep to win Champions League with Man City. I don't. That one is gonna hurt me. And
Mm,
then, Conte, what's the other cup? And then I'm hoping Guti, my team comes right and beats Liverpool in the FA Cup. I can't remember the other cup that they involved in. But I
it's
don't want them to
yeah.
win. I don't want them to win the quadruple. Their heads are gonna get too big.
Yeah, no, 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 no. That's true. That's true. I'd see bro. I feel like we've, had a very dope discussion today. Wish my team luck tomorrow.
Nah,
Nine
my guy.
o'clock kickoff. Ish, could be a
Hey,
bloodbath.
you best hope you best hope Cristiano is in the mood. Because
Yeah,
when he's in the mood, he carries the team.
yeah,
And
that's
I
true.
think the other players also know. The other players know that pass it to Cristiano, he'll do us right. But it's going to be an interesting game.
I
It's
know.
the rivalry, the history that's involved. I think that should trigger Man United players to step up. But I
Yeah,
think quality wise, yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. I know, no stress. That is, let's just wait and see, man. Thank you so much for availing yourself, dog.
One more thing, my
Yeah,
guy. Prayers honestly go out to everyone in KZN.
yeah, man.
Um,
Oh, yeah,
our prayers are with you. We feel your pain and honestly, deep down, hope your families are in good space. Because yeah, what's happening there is
yeah.
yeah,
No, it's bad, bro.
it's
It
something
really
else.
is.
But yeah, we
Yeah,
pray
yeah,
for KZN.
Of course, and my deepest condolences for the individuals that lost their loved ones. You know, it's been very tragic, and like as you said, prayers up, and we hope that things get better as time progresses, man.
Very
Yeah,
true.
yeah, man.
Reggie,
Thank you
it
so
was
much, my
been a bit.
G. Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. This is Easy Sport, and we are. Peace.